Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. Now, Iron Studios continues to release new pre-orders every week. They have stuff for Marvel and DC. There's a new Iron Man based on the Far From Home Spider-Man movie, and also there's a new Poison Ivy for the DC line. So in this video, I want to break down the good and the bad, what I like and what I don't like, and ultimately let you know if you need to get this or not. So in the next couple of minutes, stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm here at the Iron Studios website, and I will have the link in the description for those who are interested. And as you can see right now, because of the 4th of July weekend, of course they have some free shipping, some type of discounts and offers and all that. You have to use this code July 4. But we're going to look first at Iron Man Illusion from the Spider-Man Far From Home film. It's $179.99 out the bat. So to be honest with you, I'm not crazy about this price point for this. You can pay in full. You can choose the payment plan, which is 2 payments, and of course it's on pre-order now. And let's read the description. This is supposed to release in December 26th of 2020, and we're gonna look at the pictures in just a moment. But the description says, if you were good enough, then maybe Tony would still be alive. With that phrase, Quentin Beck, the enigmatic villain named Mysterio, brings Peter Parker to a nightmare when the young Spider-Man still suffers the loss from his friend and mentor in the final battle against Thanos. Amid a hallucinogenic green mist expelled by one of the villain's drones, appears the cadaverous and zombified image of Iron Man, floating with his repulsors and wearing a shattered armor that reveals part of Stark's skeleton inside. A closer look shows the texture of blue pixels in the image, revealing that it's another digital illusion created by Mysterio, a detail highlighted in the figure thanks to a special citrus paint used in his painting, where different lighting angles provide different visual impressions. This striking scene from the movie Spider-Man Far From Home is proudly presented in the figure Iron Man Illusion Deluxe Art Scale 110. Spider-Man Far From Home by Iron Studios is an exclusive and unprecedented collectible statue, part of its line derived from the film. Iron Man Illusion Deluxe Art Scale 110 Spider-Man Far From Home. It's 110, of course, a limited edition based on original movie references, made in polystone, hand painted. Those are the dimensions right there. It weighs 1.3 pounds, of course, 4/4 of 2020. To be honest with you, I don't know if this is something that I personally would go for. Although I love dioramas and they represent certain things, I'm not so sure if I'm interested in getting this particular Iron Man in any collection. Of course, everyone is different. Some people have different ways to see things than I, and that's always going to be the case. And that's the reason why art is so varied, and everyone has different collections. But I'm not so sure if this is something that I personally would pay money on. And as you can see, those are the pictures. It's kind of cool. It's just a cool concept. I'm not, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that Iron Studios is unafraid to try new things. And this is new. This is very, very different. But not necessarily something that I personally think is a must-have. But as you can see, the different angles. I'd rather have I would say, an Iron Man statue than this. But, it's cool for what it is. And not so sure about the green they use here. Of course, this is based on the film. It's just the mist. It looks kind of weird at the same time. It's an interesting concept. The same way, you have in this case, the Marvel zombie characters in comics, and people love those. And also the minibus and statues, we have many of those in the past. So it kind of follows the same concept. So I know that there are people out there that they love these things. But it's cool. Interesting concept for sure. And of course you can see this machine from the film. I really like the film. I really haven't watched it as much as I should, but I like the film. Interesting. Of course, this part where they try to make they resemble this, this is the digital rendering or whatever. I don't know. It looks weird to me. This is the type of statue that definitely I think would benefit with a light-up feature, perhaps. So it's not necessarily something that I personally go for. But of course, again, this is just my personal opinion. This is in the scale reference right here. As you can see, 21 centimeters, which is 8.2 inches in height. So it's a standard for everything that they offer. So this is cool. Not my cup of tea. Now we're gonna look at Poison Ivy, but as you can see also in Iron Studios, I was looking at the website, and at first the first impression was, wow, they're gonna have some Street Fighter statues, and then I realized these are just SH figure art, so it's kind of interesting. They selling products for other companies, in this case for Bandai. But let's look at this. It says right there, Poison Ivy art scale 110, DC Comics by Eva Reis, series number 5. It's $139.99. I think that's a really fair price. You can choose the payment plan up to 5 payments, which is super cool. So it comes very affordable. Pre-order now, and we're gonna read the description. This actually is going to be released on June 20th, 2021, so you have a year from now. Beautiful and deadly, Dr. Pamela Isley supports herself and displays another of her monstrous botanical creations in the statue Poison Ivy, art scale 110, DC Comics by Eva Reis, series number 5. Another Iron Studios release in its line, art scale 110 DC Comics, also based on the conceptual art of the designer Eva Reis of Shadowscudo Studios. Poison Ivy is one of the greatest antagonists in the Batman villain gallery, described as one of the most notorious eco-terrorists in the world. With her classic costume, the red-haired villain who uses plants, toxins, and pheromones in her crimes to control minds and create mutant plants, it stands out as on a tree base with realistic, almost organic textures. Created by Robert Kanager, her first appearance was in Batman 181 of 1966. She's 21st on the Comics Buyer Guide's list of the 100 most beautiful women in comics. And right there it says Poison Ivy art scale 110, a limited edition based on comics art by Eva Reis from DC Comics and Shadowscudo Studios, made in polished stone, hand painted. The dimensions, and it weighs like 0.6 pounds, so it's very, very light. I would say that this is an interesting concept. Of course, this is based on the art of Eva Reis, so it does have his signature style. However, I'm not, I would say, a fan of the portrait for this character. This is it's a very cutesy statue, I'm gonna say that. Not necessarily feel that it fits so well with the collection per se, just the face, the expression. She looks like a little girl, and as you know, she's always had this femme fatale image. It's something about Poison Ivy in through the films, through the cartoons, through the comics, that she's also very dangerous, and she's the type of person that you have to watch out. In this one, in this portrait, she's more like very cutesy. It is fun. I think it's just the portrait, the only thing that bugs me, and I think it bugs a lot of people. I read some comments online, but the base, the concept itself is great. I love this base. It really plays so well with her. I love the colors. I'm just not so sure about the face. Now this one looks better here, but this seems to me more like the rendition, the digital rendition right there. But love that base. It really plays so well. Now, at different angles, she still has that dangerous image in some ways. It's just some of the face, they need some tweaking, in my opinion. Some of it, not all of it. It does fit more with the, I would say, the renditions of the statues created by DC Collectibles for the, in this case, the girls of the women of DC or whatever. They have so many different lines, so many cutesy lines. I like this angle, actually, with her face right there. And I do love all those flowers and the color that was used of all of it. I love the texture in her outfit. So yeah, it does have some things, you know, I'm not gonna say that it's bad at all. Love the Photoshop in the back. You know, this is the thing when normally I would love to have in this case a San Diego Comic-Con where you can see these things. And here is a pretty much a kind of gives you the reference in the scale. I think it's average for what it is. It's not as tall. It's 7.8 inches, 7.8, and it weighs less than a pound, so it's very light. But yeah, it's interesting. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna deny it. It is cool. It's cute for what it is. I just feel that the face is needs some work, and that's all it is. Everything else is fine. Well, guys, there you have it. Definitely, Iron Studios, it's a company that is unafraid to really do and produce as much as possible. The best thing is that a lot of the items that they're producing are of high quality. They're not just have done products or projects. You know, they are doing a terrific job, at least with what the stuff that we have seen so far across all the different lines that they have. Where there is the 1/3, where there is in this case a 1/6, where there is the 1/10. They know what they're doing, and that's something that a lot of people appreciate. Now, I wouldn't say that Iron Man in this case is a piece that everyone should have. I think it's more like a niche thing for some people that they might be fans of the film, but not necessarily one that you should have. Also, the price point to me is a bit steep for what it is. So I would say that that's a pass for me. I know some people are going to like it, but not necessarily it's a necessity in any collection, in my opinion. Now with Poison Ivy, I love the base. Again, I love everything that the piece offers. I'm not so crazy about, I would say, the face. The portrait, I think that needs some work, but beyond that, it's an addition to the DC line, and I'm glad that they continue with that. But what is your opinion? What do you think? Are you a fan of any of these? Are you going to pre-order? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.